Ronell Nolan, President, CEO, Health Agents for America, coming to you live. I do have to say it appears pretty sunny outside, and our heart and prayers go out to those that are in North Louisiana and Texas and Oklahoma that were affected by this really bad weather, who in the South we're absolutely not prepared. So many of us do not have fireplaces or any other way to stay warm besides the AC, the electrical units. But hopefully everybody is starting to get thawed out. Plenty of people do not have water. Plenty of people do not have electricity. So I'm constantly sharing ways to help folks on Facebook. If there's a way that someone is bringing water or help to those areas, that we'll be able to get those folks help. So if you'd like to help, just let me know and we'll figure that out. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Of course, HAFA represents those agents that sell in the group market, the individual market, and both markets. And in some cases, our agents sell in the P&C market. But what's important now is two things. One being the commission transparency that affects the group, those that sell in the group market. You're going to have to be very transparent about what your commissions are, what your services are. Now, we're still waiting for more direction on how to approach this, but you might want to be prepared. Talk to your colleagues. If you have attorneys, talk to your attorney on how they interpret the law. Know that HAFA is working with the Big I and NAFA and trying to work with them, since they do have lobbyists and attorneys on Capitol Hill, working with staffers on Capitol Hill to see how we can look for the Secretary of Labor when that person gets appointed, confirmed by the Senate, that we can work with that person to hopefully promulgate the rules. This does not mean the law is going to change. This does not mean you're not going to have to do this. This does not mean that there's a way for you to get around it. You absolutely have to do it. What affects those in the individual market is if you sell short-term medical, then the insurance company is going to have to notify your potential client of the commission prior to sale. And we're waiting to see what that looks like also. Now I want to talk to you more about what is going to affect the individual market. With the change in administration, there's a lot of talk about the Navigator programs, giving more money to the Navigator programs. We know that there's been studies done, and the Navigator programs cost the government thousands of dollars per policy, depending on the state. It's not cost effective. Agents and brokers, we are licensed, we're free, we carry E&O, and on and on and on. And the reason I bring this to your attention, as I always do, is I was on a webinar for assisters last week. I'm on all the emails and try to get on as many webinars as I can. And there was a slide that talked about agents and brokers and assisters. And I just want to bring to your attention something that I see all the time that lights a fire and tells me that I have done the right thing by creating HAFA and, staying where I am and doing what I need to do. And what it says is that agents and broker services are generally free to consumers. It goes on to say, assisters provides free support to consumers and are not paid by insurance companies. They help with enrollment into the marketplace, but also have the expertise in providing support to consumers found eligible for financial assistance. Does that seem a little off-putting? We appear free. We're generally free. I personally took offense. I put a question in the question pane, which they all know who I am and they're not going to read my questions. But I said, you might want to point out that navigators are not free and they're paid by the federal government. They're not licensed, they're not insured, and they're not educated in the insurance market, nor do they carry E&O. I can tell you that question was not read. But very important to let you know that you're always a target. It may be very, quiet the way that it's put, such as healthcare.gov. Go to the website healthcare.gov, click on Find Local Help. You'll find navigators listed before agents and brokers. I have complained about this since the beginning. Why are you listing another entity before agents and brokers? If it's going to be done in alphabetical order, do it in alphabetical order. If you're not, then you are sending folks to navigators before agents and brokers by listing them first. It's just not fair. We work hard. We've been in this industry for hundreds of years. We know what we're doing. We're fighting hard. And, I'm not going to say that there's bad eggs. I'm going to say that I hope that HAFA doesn't represent, I'm going to say HAFA does not represent any bad eggs. We represent the cream of the crop, the best of the best. But there are bad folks out there that are, they don't do the right thing. And those are the ones that are putting the black mark. We need to continue to do the right things. It goes to the report that was done by the GAO by Senator Casey that said that 9 out of the 31 agents that they called sent people to a short-term medical plan, and they called foul. Well, in further discussion, as we always do on either our ledge calls or our power hours, one of our agents pointed out, well, depending on what time of the year that call was made, and if that person had an SCP or not, they would have been directed to a short-term medical because that would have been their option. It wouldn't have been because they're a bad egg. Those kind of things are important, and those in Washington don't always understand the pieces and parts and what we do and why we do it. I also want to bring your attention to the fact that this is not a Democrat-Republican issue. This is who is a HAFA hero, who believes in what we do and who understands what we do and who is willing to listen to what we do. Senator Casey, Democrat, created this report. I'm going to say it's so skewed. I posted probably a year and a half old video on Facebook, my Facebook page, talking about the report done by, I think it's Michael Allen, that talked about agents and brokers receive steak dinners and free trips and all kind of stuff. Some do. They're the top of their class. They sell the most. That happens in every industry. But, dunned our industry for that. They're therefore creating this commission transparency that was the legacy bill for Senator Alexander, Republican. Now, it doesn't really matter whether it's Republican or Democrat. It's who understands what we do, who is going to continue to promote the Navigator program, regardless if it's draining money, regardless if it's working just to promote government involvement. We have got to get to Washington as soon as possible, get on the Hill, and start finding HAFA heroes. But what you can do in the interim is you can work in your state. I'm looking for legislative liaisons. I'm looking for somebody that says, look, Ronell, Senator A, he's a Democrat, but his dad is an agent. He understands what we do. Let's talk to him. Congressman B is a Republican. He is an agent, and he is definitely on our side. So let's talk to him. So if you can do some homework and help me while we're stuck at home and until I can get on the road, then let's do that. Help me out. Just take a little bit of your time, maybe a couple of hours a month or a week or every 2 weeks, just to help HAFA out. We're not big enough to have attorneys and lobbyists on Capitol Hill that can help us do those things. We have to rely on ourselves as a volunteer organization to get those things done. That kind of leads me into a program that we are a member of and I wanted to bring to your attention. HAFA is a member of the Business Coalition for Fair Competition, BCFC. These are the folks that brought me to the White House to talk about private industry, the federal government through the Navigator program, through the ACA, taking private industry jobs. We will continue to be a part of that group. I was on a call with them last week, and I will serve on a committee with them to promote our agenda, promote getting exposure to these type of things, along with other industries that this kind of thing happens to them too. So it could be run the gambit of different type of industries, but absolutely this is a federal law put into place with Navigator program that continues to get millions of dollars, that does not work, that does not create outreach, that is giving millions of dollars and it's not working. If they want to give programs to outreach, then give programs to outreach that an agent and broker and the outreach could be the same person, which the law definitely doesn't allow you to do both. You should be able to have a separate entity if you're going to do that. At least we're cost effective. The Navigator program is not, absolutely, you can find reports that say this is not the truth. So BCFC, definitely wonderful program. We will continue to be a program, be a part of this program, and you'll look for me to be either on some Zoom calls with some folks in, those important committees that have to deal with, fair competition and government jobs, and, me being at the White House as soon as we can get some travel time. Some say it might be okay right now, and maybe it is. I'm just trying to take a wait-see and try to get up there as soon as I can. The other thing is, don't forget about the Agent Summit. We are going to be doing a face-to-face at Nowdaway Plantation the last week in August. I've had an outpour of interest, so everybody else must have ants in their pants like I do and want to get out. We're working on speakers. I've got a couple of speakers locked down. We'll be getting more speakers, working on the CE. So please let me know as soon as possible if you're coming so I can start working on your state. And if it's not possible that I can get your CE, I will give you a refund for that portion of your registration after we start taking registration. I'm not going to take your money if we can't provide CE. There are some states such as New York that the CE programs are $200. So $200 times, normally we try to do about 8. I mean, that's not cost effective. I mean, it's just not cost effective. So we're definitely working on that. I am having calls on what will be our protocol, and just know that we'll do whatever either the CDC or what professionals say that we should do, whether it's taking temperatures, whether it's doing tests, whatever we have to do, we will be doing it. By August, we don't know. Maybe everybody will be vaccinated. Who knows? We just take it a day-by-day kind of thing. But definitely stay warm, stay safe. Call me if you need anything. I'm here. Today is Faith's day to get her staples out, so we're fixing to go to the vet. So I'm excited about that, but after we get back, we'll be back in the office and working our normal day. But call if you need anything. Keep your ears open. Let me know if you hear anything. You read an article, you see something that affects your state, send it to me. If you don't mind being a legislative liaison, let me know. We need help. We need folks. We need boots on the ground. Until next Monday, have a wonderful day. Ronnell Nolan, proud and honored to represent the HAFA Freedom Fighters. Capitol Hill will be there. Just wait.